Hey guys, here's a new updated video on how to create your own token slash smart contract. Alright, so we're going to go to openzeppelin.com, come up to the top, click on products, click on contracts, click on start coding. On the left here, click on wizard. Alright, so this is what we're using right here. So this is ERC20. So that'll work on any EVM compatible blockchain. So you can do this with Ethereum, Avalanche, Binance, a couple others. So I'll show you a couple different ones so you can see how easy this is. So over here, we're going to call this test token 2023. So that's the name of your token. Right here will be the symbol, whatever you want that to be. So we'll do TT2023. And for pre-mint, that's how many tokens you want to create as soon as you deploy your smart contract. So we'll do 1 million. You can do however many you want. And you can add whatever features you want here. If you want to be able to create more tokens later, check the mintable. If you want to be able to burn tokens, click the burnable. And if you want to be able to pause your contract later, then click pausable. These others I never check, but it's up to you. You can click on the little question mark or move your mouse by the question mark. It'll tell you what they are. Okay. Leave that as ownable. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. And leave it like that. So right here, this is all of our smart contract. So it's importing 4 other smart contracts into this. That's why the code is so short. All right, so now we're going to go over to Remix. And I'm going to create a new file. So you want to create a new file. Click on this little icon here. Create new file. And click in that box and call it whatever you named your token in OpenZeppelin. So test token 2023. And after that, after test token 2023, you have to put .sol and then hit enter. So if your token name is super token, then you would name it supertoken.sol. So that file always has to end in .sol after your token name or whatever you're going to call it. So left click on that, so it's blank in here, you can see. Go back over to OpenZeppelin. Highlight all this text. That's the code right there, copy it. Back to Remix. Click in the box there, right click, paste. Okay, so here's our smart contract. Okay. Over here on the left, click on the compiler icon. Okay, make sure this compiler version matches this version right here. So 0.8.9, 0.8.9, so that's good. Now, if this is anything different, like if it showed up like this, 0.8.5, but you're using 0.8.9, then just click in here and change it to the right version, like that. Okay, click on compile token. Alright, so it's compiled. Make sure your contract name matches. Test token 2023, test token 2023.sol. That's correct. Okay, then click on deploy and run transaction. And if you're going to do this on testnet, you can leave it like this, Remix VM. There's multiple versions of that in here, but if you're going to do it on the mainnet, you want to switch it to injected provider MetaMask. But I would always recommend do it on the testnet first, just to make sure everything's working correctly. And then once that's working, then you can come back and do it again on the mainnet. And the steps are exactly the same. So if you deploy it to the testnet, everything works fine. And come back in here, do everything the same exact way you did it to deploy it to the testnet. So for now, we're going to do it on the testnet. And but actually, what we're going to do here is we're going to change this to injected provider MetaMask, because we are going to do it to the testnet. When you do it like this with the Remix VM, that's like it shows 100 Ether right here. So that's something different and not as easy to track and make sure everything is correct. So I think that runs through Ganache or something like that. So when you go to deploy, so I'll change what I said earlier. So if you're doing mainnet or testnet, put it on injected provider MetaMask, like that. Okay, and so now you can see it shows 0.037 blah blah blah. Okay, so when I open up my MetaMask, okay, so we're going to deploy this one first to the Ethereum testnet, so the Goerli testnet. Okay, so shows I have $70 in there of test tokens. All right, so before you deploy, make sure your contract has the right token name, because you can see there's a bunch of different contracts in here, and that's because we added those features like the ownable, pausable, and that kind of stuff. So make sure you're on this one here, your version of this one. Okay, click deploy. MetaMask will pop up. Okay, it's going to cost $16 of gas. Confirm. Give it a second here to create it. There we go. So we got the green check box. That means it's deployed correctly. Then over here on the left, you can see there's the deployed contract. Click this little arrow and then scroll down, and that'll show you your, you can pause it, you can renounce it. Shows the decimals, the name, so we can click on name. And right here it shows you test token 2023. And click on symbol, TT2023, total supply. It's actually 1 million. It's 1 million with 18 zeros after it, so that's why it looks like more than 1 million. Okay, so you can see that all worked. So it's deployed. Now, what we want to do is we want to go to the Goerli testnet. This is where we're going to be checking our contract. So we're going to go back to Remix, and we're going to copy this address. And I'm going to go back to Goerli. In the search bar here, just right click and paste it and hit search. Okay, so there's our contract. See all that? Okay, so we want to go over here to this contract tab. Click that. I'm going to click on verify and publish. Okay, and then over here, it's already got the contract in there. Compiler type, Solidity single file. Compiler version, we did 0.8.9, so select that one. License type is MIT. Click continue. Alright, so now it wants us to enter the Solidity contract code here. So before we do that, we're going to go back to Remix. And I'm going to go back up here to this little, the first icon for File Explorer. Okay, so here's our token, our smart contract. So left click it, right click it, click on flatten. Okay, so now it created a flattened version of this contract. Okay, so see this is here. So now our original contract is only 33 lines long of code. The flattened version, this one right here, you can see how long that is. It's a lot longer because it's got all the code from our original contract in there, including the smart contracts that we imported originally in our code. So it's going to be a lot longer. So what we want to do now is go back to the top here. All right, so this right here, we need to put something in here before we continue on. So go back to your original token file here, to the top, and click on this first line anywhere and highlight that whole first line right here. Right click, copy, then go back to your flattened version, click that, And then the first line here, click in there, right click, and paste what we just copied. That's just your MIT license. Okay, then you want to select all this code right here in this file, the flattened version. So you can just click anywhere in here and then hit Control A, and that'll highlight everything, and then Control C to copy. That's if you're on a Windows PC. Okay, so we've copied all this code. Go back to Goerli. In the box here, click in there, and then Control V to paste it. So now I pasted all that flattened code into this. Scroll down, check the box here, and we're going to verify and publish. And right there, successfully generated bytecode and ABI for contract address, blah, blah, blah. So we click on that contract address. Now I can see under contract we have a green check mark, which means contract source code verified. So you always want to verify your contract, so when people look up your contract they can see that it's verified and makes everything look a lot more legitimate. Okay, so that one's done on the Goerli. Now the other thing you're going to have to do is you're going to want to copy this contract address, go into your MetaMask here, and I'm going to go back so you can see what I did here. So, alright, so you copy the smart contract address right here, open your MetaMask, make sure you're on the Tokens tab, click on Import Tokens, right click and paste that contract address, and it should import it like this. So that's my token symbol, that's the number of decimals my token has, and add custom token, import tokens. Now you can see I have my 1 million tokens here automatically. Right here, see? So now I have all the tokens of this token, the smart contract that I just created, so I own 100% of the tokens. So from there you can do whatever you want with them. You can divide them up, whatever you want to do. So that one's all cool on Goerli, and we can do the same thing on Snowtrace. So if we go back here to our we're just gonna, I'll show you on Snowtrace and on Binance also. So we'll go ahead and just compile again. And we'll go back here. We'll just check this and see. It should work the same on all. Let me double check here. So we're going to switch this over to. We'll switch over to the Avalanche testnet. Okay, so now we're on the Fuji chain. That's the Avalanche testnet. Okay, so we'll try this contract. We'll just copy it again and see if that works on Snowtrace. We may have to redeploy it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to redeploy it. All right, so we'll just go back over here. Just to be safe, we'll compile it again. Okay, all compiled. Still got the right token version, or the contract, and still on injected web. And now that switched over to the Avalanche wallet address. So you can see that shows 2 AVAX. That says 2 right there. Even though it says ETH, it's actually whatever crypto you're on right here. So it's Avalanche, actually, not Ethereum, but it'll always say Ethereum over here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and delete this one so we don't mix them up, and go ahead and deploy it. MetaMask will pop up. Confirm. And give it just a minute here. There we go. Green check mark. We're all good. Okay, so now we got our contract here. Copy it. Put it into Avalanche. Paste it. Okay, there's our contract on Avalanche that we just created. And click on contract. publish. So it's the same process on pretty much any EVM compatible blockchain. So you would only need to do this with one blockchain, but I'm showing you on a couple different ones to see, so you can see that it works on multiple blockchains. So just like the Goerli testnet, it wants the contract code here. So back to Remix, back to our file here. And let's delete that one. Flatten it again. Copy that first line. Paste it. And copy all of it. Or select all of it and copy it. Paste it. Check the box. Verify and publish. There we go. Successfully generated. Click on the contract, verify it.